Wearing 6, Pete Tosher. Wearing 8, Robert Peter. And wearing number 9, Lisa Steichen. And its coach is Diana. Across the court, wearing white and green, is Sporting Portugal. Wearing number 1, Hugo Cavaco. Wearing 4, Adelaide Sacramento. Wearing 5, João Mota. Wearing 6, Luis Miguel. And wearing 7, Tomas Delphi. Head coach for Portugal is Duarte Poirier. Assisted by João Tavares. And your referees for this game will be Robert Avery and Daniel Austin.
Füchse on my left, Sporting Club Portugal on my right. May I remind everyone to be quiet while the ball is in play and to switch off your mobile phones. Thank you.
Welcome back to live coverage of the EGCA Champions League. This is Füchse versus Sporting Club Portugal in our 5th to 8th placement match. Sporting playing from left to right, with Berlin from right to left. And that's an unbelievable start for Sporting. Have Thomas Delphine, who's playing on the left of the three, and Mota in the centre with Hugo Cavaco on the right. Well, you get much better than that with the first throw of the game.
That's what you want in the first throw of the game. You just want to find the back of the net sometimes, and Delphine, he'll get some confidence from that. He had a rough game in the quarterfinal.
Well, in two throws. It gets better and better from this perfect start. João Mota this time.
he's carried on from what he did in the quarterfinals there. Sporting had an agonising loss in that quarterfinals, just shy and just short, losing 6-8 to find themselves in this 5 to 8 place game.
Hugo Cavaco diving down to his right. That's an important save. So for Berlin, we've got Tauscher on the court, Robin Peter, Lieber. So our usual players for Berlin on the court. They've got through a lot of work throughout this tournament. When you're a small squad and you've got 3 players in particular who played a lot of minutes, when it gets to this point in a competition, surely when you must start to feel it, eh?
They'll be feeling it today. Their bodies will be very sore, very battered. You'll see Daniel Friebel in the on the court for Berlin. His fingers are all taped up because they'll be under a lot of damage.
Hugo Cavaco with that diving save. So Berlin in those black and green shirts, going from right to left. Sporting in all white with the green numbers and nameplates. That's a long ball given against Hugo Cavaco. So loop back into the game in the early stages here for Berlin. It's amazing. Only a minute has been played, it seems. We've had so much going on inside the opening 60 seconds.
Quiet, please. Play.
Oh, and that goes into the back of the net. As Hugo Cavaco, well, went right, went left, went right. Tried to go left, but the ball had already gone past him. And it is 2-1.
Good stop there by Berlin. They needed to get a couple of those good ones.
Hugo Cavaco and Jean Motta diving on that one. Thomas Delphine. And a long ball again from Sporting. So after a 110-mile start for Sporting, they're now just being pegged back a little here by Berlin.
Definitely, if this ball goes in, it's a big stop for Sporting, because they've jumped out to a 2-0 lead, and if they throw this one away.
Great save, Thomas Delphine diving to his right, so he makes up for that one. The score remains 2-1.
Very strong left hand push out around the post from Delphine.
So, and that is a great response. That is 3 for Sporting.
That's what you want as a shooter. Just after you conceded the penalty, you've had a positive stop, and then you take the shot again and you score. There's nothing more you want from that.
And that one bounces over the top of Hugo Cavaco. Well, I can reassure everyone that there has been exactly 1 minute and 40 seconds played, but we've had 5 goals, 2 penalties. It is all happening here in our penultimate game of the day. One is blocked by Robin Peter.
Just like the tournament's been so far, I think it's going to be a high-scoring game by the looks of it.
Well, over 200 goals were scored at the end of the day's play yesterday. Games have been a little bit tighter. So a nice line throw right down this near side. That one is blocked out by Hugo Cavaco. And that one ends up into the back of the net.
It looks like Daniel Friebel just lifted that one over his winger there and sent it into the back of the net. Yeah, flicked off his hands and into the back of the net.
That one, oh, just a fingertip on it from Hugo Cavaco, just managed to divert it wide.
Normally in goalball you see not every shot is going to be a goal, but so far in this game it looks like every shot could be a goal.
It's been an extraordinary 2.5 minutes here. That's 6 goals, 2 penalties, and as Niall quite rightly mentions, pretty much every throw feels like it could be in the back of the net. That nearly is another one, but good diving save to his left by Rowan Peter.
Good teamwork there by the pair from Sporting.
That one nearly nestled into the bottom left corner from João Mota. Thomas Delphine with that effort down the far side. Tauscher responds right into the middle of the Sporting goal. João Mota hands over responsibility to Hugo Cavaco. That's wide of the mark. Well, first time that we've had about 5+ throws without a goal. It's been so entertaining so far. Here's another one that goes down this near side court. And the ball ending up in the commentary booth as well. We're right in the thick of the action.
I was ready to defend that one. Looks like Delphine's come over. He's a whole different player in this game compared to the last one. Great movement there by the two wingers for the Sporting team, switching and moving back.
That one, oh, it squeezes through. It was Daniel Friebe who almost went over the top of the ball as that ball was diverted into the centre of the Berlin goal. Yeah, just diving over the top of it and then over the top of the legs. Oh, Philipp Tauscher. Cross court effort right towards that far side, so 5-2 to Sporting. It's been a tournament littered with goals, and this is another one. As that one pops up into the air and just lands wide.
It took a friendly bounce for them out of the court. That could have easily been in the back of the net. Sporting is now taking a timeout, it looks like, to talk things over. Get a bit more of a direction there for Sporting. They've been able to score the goals, but they need a bit more of a direction to what they want to work on. It's easy just to throw the ball down the court and just see if you can score past the person, but they need to start now working together as a team and see what gaps they can create and use this as a bit of a exercise to see what new things they can actually try. And on Berlin's perspective, they need to settle into the game. They've had a fast start and they've scored a couple of goals from it as well, so hopefully they can take a bit of confidence going into defensively.
Quiet, please. Premature throw.
Whistle was yet to be blown, and Thomas Delphine was desperate to get that throw underway. Robert Avery hadn't blown his whistle.
It's always an awkward time when you're a player. You want to throw on play. Some of the referees may hold their play because they're watching you run.
João Mota moving just to the right of the centre. The Friebe running back towards the goal, and has a go right down the centre of the court, and that's comfortable enough there for João Mota, who has been impressive on a player forward so far in this tournament. That's an effort that just sneaks wide off this near post.
Looks like Jarmotta's really fixed himself in that centre position for the Sporting team, and he's been a strong player in that middle for them.
High ball, number 1.
And a high ball against Hugo Cavaco. That's another penalty given against Cavaco. So they are just inviting Berlin into this game as we approach the end of this first quarter. It's 5-2 to Sporting currently. Big opportunities for Berlin to really reduce that gap. Oh, and it did get a touch from Hugo Cavaco, but it just goes underneath the legs.
Cavaco got the initial block, but his legs were just a little bit too high for it, and the ball squeezed underneath. This happened to Berlin a couple of times, that the ball squeezed underneath, and now it's going on the other side.
Pull it. Official timeout, clarification.
Referees are just clarifying there was a little bell that they heard from the scorers table, which normally means something, but
Clock issue.
there's just a clock issue they're calling. The clock's reset itself to 12 minutes, it looks like.
So we're going to have to just have a stoppage in play here. Well, this is a first for me. I've not certainly seen this in a while.
Nor have I. It looks like they're going to have to figure out what time, and they might have to agree from the benches to what time was on the clock, or they might have a look back at the footage to see when the last row was.
Quiet, please.
It looks like they've agreed on the time with 6:27 left on the clock in the first half.
Well, all ends well, and we are now back underway. Just over 6 minutes remaining now in the first half. Cavaco with that block out.
Quiet, please. Play.
So Sporting leading by 5 goals to 3. Hugo Cavaco has given away a couple of penalties in this first half. Maintains discipline, goes through the centre, and all 3 of the Berlin players converge on the ball. And here comes Robin Peter with that effort towards that left pocket. That one's cleared away.
Sporting looking like they want to play a quick game against Berlin. They may have seen Jarmotta giving away a high ball there, going from the 3 metre line on a quick return. It sometimes can pay off, and sometimes it will give away a penalty because you're changing the amount of steps that you're taking.
Yeah, these penalties that Sporting are giving away really hampering their progress in this 5th to 8th placement match. Well, that one goes wide. That's another one that they get away with, Sporting. It could have been a lot closer in the scoreline here, 5-3, but penalties have been given away. Thomas Delphine with the effort down this far side of the court.
Quiet, please. Play.
Robin Peter with his effort down the near side. Hugo Cavaco with that block down this near side of the court. That one just driven wide.
Really good work there by the Berlin team to push that one around the corner.
it towards that far side of the court. Picked up by Füchse, who has to go back to the goal and then launch one as he tumbles to the court as he was at a standing start and he's getting back to that position. Füchse, well, he's putting everything into that.
He is, and it looked like it started off from the pickup from the initial block forward. He got his feet tied up underneath him and it was always on the back foot.
Big save from João Mota. That one's cleaned up.
Diving in front of Delphine there. Looks like he didn't want him to take it. He wanted to take it himself.
Tao Shen out. And that right 3 for Berlin goes cross court to Hugo Cavaca. That one also blocked. 3.5 minutes remaining of the first half.
Looks like the game settled down after the first 4 minutes of the game. The next 5, 6, 7 minutes of this game is really settled down. It's become more of a chess match rather than a paintball match.
Yeah, absolutely. That first minute and 40 seconds, 5 goals, 2 penalties. That's a great way to describe it. It felt like very much like a paintball match. The scattergun approach at the moment. Yeah, it's just sort of reaching a little bit of a stalemate here between the two sides. João Mota, can he find a way through? Not this time. Tao and Füchse converging on the ball, going left and right. Now here's technical. Almost from a standing position he plays that ball. That one is out. So just under 3 minutes remaining.
Quiet, please. Play.
That one squeezed in between Tao and Füchse in that left pocket. Quick return now towards the centre of the court. That one's blocked, but it's going to be a ball over back to Berlin.
The Berlin team today have been really good at when the ball goes loose, they're all corralling it and they're making sure that they're working together there.
Delphine. That one is punched away. A change of angles for Tao as he goes towards this near side of the court. Hugo Cavaca now. That one going wide of this near side of the court. It really has just slowed down in the goal scoring marks at the moment. Out.
I do feel as soon as one goal goes in, there'll be more to come and follow it. Berlin is starting to look like they're keeping that right wing open from a Sporting's perspective. If the Sporting team can hit that mark, they've got a goal there.
Tao Shen. And Füchse now has the opportunity to throw down the centre. That one saves João Mota. No mistakes there. Hugo Cavaca just takes a breath and puts one down the centre of the court. It was Delphine who started the tournament playing in that central role, is now out on the left. It's 4 goals so far in the championship. João Mota though playing in that centre role. As soon as he's moved into that centre role, the influence he's had on his team has been so big.
Yeah, Jean Motta in that centre he's been able to do it all. Delphine, he's going to come into his own as a shooter. He's getting really low on his rotations. Jean Motta there with a really good effort, but they're hitting the bodies rather than hitting the open spots.
And here is Hugo Cavaco, another one just before the half-time break. 20 seconds remaining. Sporting leading by 5 goals to 3. And that is a timeout called by Berlin.
If I was on the Sporting team bench, I'd be giving them the information. They've pulled the Berlin team all to within inside the centre because they keep hitting across that centre, and they've left the wings wide open. They just need a little movement shot, Sporting as a team, just to find the back of the net now. They're not getting that success through the middle. Now move out to the wings, and Berlin now need to recognise that they might be getting pulled in on the counter side of it, and push out towards the lines and cover and close off the gaps.
Final seconds of this first half. That one is cleared away. So they'll be able to get one final effort. Here's Sporting. One's drilled out towards that far side, and that one goes wide. That is half-time. And it's been a very entertaining first half. It went off like a train in that first 2 minutes. It's been reeled in slightly. Sporting lead by 5 goals to 3. But what a fascinating first half that was. Almost 2 different sides to that half, really. The first quarter and the second quarter.
I was just thinking that it's two halves of that first half there. Very fast paced, very furious in that first section of the game, and then it slowed down a lot. I feel like Berlin got let off on quite a lot of them. They could have been punished if Sporting just went towards the wings. Berlin were playing so deep with inside the pockets because they were so worried about the pocket shots from the earlier goals. They've just left their wings wide open, but they'll be able to make the adjustments now and hopefully cover those gaps. And I wonder if the second half's going to start like the first half did.
Well, half-time then in our 5th to 8th placement match. And it is Sporting who lead by 5 goals to 3. We'll just take a brief pause before we start the second half.
Coming up then, the score at half-time, Sporting 5, Berlin 3.
Welcome back to live coverage of the EGCA Champions League. It's half-time in our second 5th to 8th placement match between Berlin and Sporting. Sporting Club Portugal on the right, Füchse Berlin on the left in their black and green Berlin. As for Sporting, they are in their white shirts.
It's not always good when you see the referee take that long at the table to find out either the score or it looks like the clock has reset itself to 6:27.
So just a brief stoppage in play here before we get this second half underway. We had an issue with the clock in the first half, but our technical delegate is making his way around.
If in doubt, call Alex Bunny. He knows that he's sorted it already. It looks
like that in seconds. That is quite remarkable. Alex Bunny to the rescue.
I have Sporting Club Portugal on my left and Füchse Berlin on my right. Half-time score, Sporting 5, Berlin 3. Half-time substitution for Sporting, out numbers 5 and 1, in numbers 4 and 6.
We're nearly ready to go. A few extra changes that are being made. I'll let everyone off. It's the penultimate game, day number 2.
Oh, yeah,
It might be a little bit fuzzy.
Oh, we definitely have to let people off. 12 games yesterday, half the schedule played. 8 games today.
But we are there, and we are up and running. Second half. So double substitution for Sporting at half time. Sacramento, we were just talking about off air, actually, is now onto the court, as is Luis Miguel, another player we were talking about just at the break. And both of those players have come on, and that just sort of shows the strength and depth, really, that they have in this Sporting team.
Definitely, they've been featuring.
Well, as soon as we start talking about that, Luis Miguel goes underneath his body, and that is a 4th for Berlin, the first goal of this second half. Well, Luis Miguel straight onto the court, underneath his body, and it's a big goal for Berlin.
That's a massive goal for Berlin. Now they're just within 1. And
Great effort.
Thought Sporting were about to hit straight back there with that one. But it's a huge goal for Berlin, that one. Now they're within 1, and they've got confidence because they drew first blood in the second half.
Quiet, please. Play.
So here is Sacramento. He goes down the centre. One's blocked by Fever.
Delphine's taking that centre position from
Luis Miguel now on this setting inside. He's trying to squeeze that one through that left pocket. So at the moment it's Sacramento on the right, João Mota in the centre, Luis Miguel on the left. And it's as you were for Berlin. Sacramento working some space to plant that shot into the left pocket.
It looks like Sacramento's come on to the second half and is trying to come out firing straight away.
That throw right down that far side of the court. That one goes wide. Well, it takes a combination of pressure and Lieber to block that one, but Robin Peters going to throw this one towards that centre spot. Well, Berlin, it's been 4 defeats out of 4 so far in the tournament, but they are really pushing Sporting in this after 8th placement, and it took a combination of quite a few players there to clear that ball off the line, with Tauscher making that crucial clearance.
Fantastic clear up there by Tauscher. He didn't think he was needed until he was there, and then that's when he found the ball just trickle into his hands.
So that throw blocked, and back to Sacramento, trying to find a route through that left pocket. And a timeout called here by Berlin. Just the 1 goal in this second half so far. And Berlin, really give them some credit. They are giving Sporting a really good game in this 5 to 8th placement match. And even though these games don't mean that you go towards a semi-final or a final or go through to the Champions League finals, each team wants to try and finish as high up as possible, don't they? It's for pride and respect.
Yeah, you're playing for placement now. You don't want to be in that 7th-8th place game. No one wants to be in that game. You want a bit of a lie-in tomorrow morning, and make sure that you're not on the first bus coming from the hotel to the venue.
Yeah, that's right. It's the first game of the morning in the 7th to 8th placement match, 8:15. Extra few hours in bed. Can always be nice after a long weekend of a tournament, I can imagine.
I don't know about hours, maybe minutes with some of these guys at the moment. How fast? Oh,
And that is a 6th for Sporting, and it potentially just a bit of a settler there. 2-goal advantage restored. It is Berlin 4, Sporting 6.
Sacramento with the big rotation shot, hitting Freeball's legs and flicking it up there.
Big save by Robin Peter. That one goes into the left pocket. And now here comes from Tauscher. Well, Berlin have been able to respond so well in this game. That's a lovely sliding effort, but it is going to be given as a high ball here, so an opportunity for Berlin to respond. And just as I was talking about how Berlin have been able to almost just reel in Sporting every time they think they've been getting away, Berlin with a great chance to reduce that deficit once again to just 1. Peter's going to take this one against Luis Miguel. Robin Peter, that one saved, so this time the 2-goal lead is restored, and Luis Miguel really enjoyed that one.
Luis Miguel got a bit of a let off on that one. He was able to get his hands to it and stop the ball, but Berlin have just not been able to convert on their penalties.
And that's a beauty from Sacramento.
And Sacramento,
Passing it into the bottom right corner.
and Sacramento's really added that spark off the bench when he's come into the second half, adding that extra pace to what Sporting were needing.
Thomas Delphi now with the effort that goes down the centre of the court. Lieber makes that block, and that one's over the halfway line. So it's going to be a ball over. And Sporting are really just starting to assert their dominance now.
Berlin trying to change the pace of the game now, taking those extra seconds, extending the clock. They don't want to play a fast-paced game with Sporting.
Now here comes Robin Peter again. Aiming towards Sacramento. Well, that penalty miss has really swung the game. It could have been just one goal in it. It's now 3. Sacramento's now just really starting to ramp up through the gears.
Yeah, Berlin looking like they're a bit scrambling now on the defensive side, and it's giving Sporting the confidence that they can defend the ball and know that Berlin are going to be scrambling on the way back.
Big effort and a big save. Friebe down the centre of the court.
Quiet, please. Play.
Luis Miguel, he just crouches underneath the crossbar, gives it an almighty swing towards that right pocket, but that one's blocked out by Friebe, and a combination of him and Robin Peter. Just over 6 minutes remaining as we enter into the final quarter.
Berlin team were in deep conversation with Schubert during the pickups.
That one blocked out.
Quiet, please. Play.
Sacramento with that effort, that's pushed wide, and that it is a timeout call. So we are just entering into the final quarter of the game. Sporting leading by 7 goals to 4. Well, after that insane first 2 minutes, Niall, this game has levelled itself out, and Sporting have the advantage and are on course for the 5th to 6th placement game.
Yeah, it's done. It's been a cut and paste first quarter of the half, just the last half. They started off all guns blazing. That means Sporting brought in Miguel and Sacramento, which added that firepower on. I feel for that Berlin team that they haven't made too many substitutions. So these guys have played heavy minutes during the tournament, and their bodies are going to be feeling it.
Certainly is. That one is just hit over the top of the crossbar.
It was tipped and then that skied over the crossbar.
Yeah, really ramped over, wasn't it? Yeah, absolutely. That one comes in.
Looks like Sacramento's loading up for a good shot.
And squeezed underneath the body of Robin Peter.
Right on cue, Sacramento was with that goal.
Certainly was, and that is now 8-4 in favour of Sporting. They are now starting to really pull away in this final quarter. Penalty conceded here by Berlin, and a chance now for Sporting to have their 9th. And it's going to be Luis Miguel, half-time substitute, who is going to try and take this one. Oh, no mistake.
Oh, he's just been called for a long ball.
And it is a long ball against Luis Miguel. Well, that's the second time we've seen that today. Penalty reversed.
someone got there in a reverse cut.
Quiet, please. Play.
Well, Luis Miguel's going to have to face up to this, and it's going to be the fellow number 6 to take it and score it, and it is Tauscher.
Low Berlin 5-8.
So 5.5 minutes remaining. Berlin still within touching distance. Only 3 goals in it now.
Could have been a 5-goal lead. Now it's only a 3-goal lead because of the switch. Can Berlin take this and now push on through?
Tauscher with that effort cross court. Blocked by Sacramento. And that one is pushed wide.
Quiet, please. Play.
Tauscher with that effort towards that right pocket, and Luis Miguel and Thomas Delphine converge on the ball, and now here comes Luis Miguel.
Miguel's got to be careful on those. It looks like he got away with either a little bit of a high ball there. He's just got to rein it in. We don't want to give away penalties when you're in a winning position.
Yeah, Luis Miguel giving away that penalty after having the chance to try and score one. Blocked out, so 4.5 minutes remaining. 8-5 to Sporting. A quick response at the centre of the court, and that one's also saved. Sacramento, that one too far away. It's covered though by Robin Peter. And that one closes the gap even further, and it is Philipp Tauscher with another big goal for Berlin. And again, they're not letting Sporting get away from them. Under 4 minutes to go, 8-6.
Yeah, they're definitely keeping them within distance. It's just if they can get a little bit closer and trim that lead just down to 1, can they make something happen? There's lots of time left on the clock for it. Good strong legs there by Delphine to stop that one.
Robin Peter pushes it towards the centre of the court. Well, now we're going to have to think about a player of the match for this one. I think there's a few contenders in this one. Berlin have been highly impressive with likes of Flieber and Tauscher also getting involved.
Tauscher's definitely on my list there for Berlin. He's been all over the game with saving on the goal line and inside the goals. And then on the Sporting side, Sacramento has been really impressive for me coming off the bench in the second half, giving them that spark in that 2 minutes, and looking like he's still quite strong on the defensive side of it.
Well, as we approach into the final couple of minutes, we will get that poll live for you so you can make that vote. And yeah, I back those. Philipp Tauscher, he's been really good, and Sacramento since coming on has been a real bright spark. That finish in particular, into that far right corner, was excellent.
Yeah, the Sporting needed it, and the game needed it. It was getting to a bit of a stalemate at the end of the first half, and then it sparked off in the second half.
Big block in the centre by Füchse.
Quiet, please.
So the player of the match poll is up. Philip Kosher, Sacramento of Sporting. Power is in your hands. Get those votes in. So just under 3 minutes remaining. 2 goals separating the sides. We've had a lot of closer games today in this second day, and Aaron was talking about it, and with our previous games, because of the pressure and what it means, it's just been ranked up a little bit, and these games have been a lot closer.
Yeah, yesterday was more of a display of the offensive ability of each team. A lot of goals yesterday. There's not as many goals today because everyone's trying to grit their teeth, grit their hands on the floor and get their defensive stops.
Sacramento driving it towards that right pocket, and word though on this Berlin side, it's been these three for pretty much, well, I think all the way through this tournament. The energy levels, fitness that these three must have is incredible. Just as from a goalball player's perspective, now how much effort and energy physically and mentally does it take, not just to play a tournament but to play one game?
Every player listening will know it's the effort just to get up and down, and the centres have to go out and get the ball. That's extra effort, and extra mental effort more than physical effort, just as the ball finds the back of the net there.
Yeah, and that could be the one that seals Sporting's place in the 5th to 6th placement match tomorrow.
And that was from Sacramento again.
You can vote for him in our player of the match, Sacramento. A real big difference coming on in the second half. So the winner of this will play Orf in the 5th to 6th placement match. The 7th to 8th placement will be up against Northern All-Stars.
Going back to the energy these players are exerting right now. They use so much brain capacity just to be thinking where the ball is at that moment. How am I getting up? Where do I need to go? If you're playing on the wing, you need to be up each time so you can clear and make sure that your other winger has space to move around the court. If you're in the centre, you want to try to be compact, and when you're a big guy, it's a lot harder. When you're smaller, like your Joe Roper's, he can compact himself quite well. And then also making sure that you're motivating your team with inside it and picking up any players that are dropping. It all adds up, and it's a very knackering sport.
Yeah, the fitness levels have to be admired, particularly these Berlin players, these three that have played the predominant amount of minutes of this tournament. One final big effort then for the two teams today. One game remaining on day 2, our second semi-final. And a timeout, this time being called by Berlin.
It looks like they have something in their mind that they really want to try, and the timeout gives them that chance just to set it up, see, and use it as a bit of a training exercise as well. They've got something to prove to themselves, and if they can cut the lead down, you never know what can happen. We saw 4 goals in a minute yesterday. I know it's been a tighter contested games today on the defensive side of it, but any team can switch off.
Goal here for Berlin with just over a minute to go. That would just throw a cat amongst the pigeons, just get Sporting really thinking. And if anyone can, it's Philip Tauscher here for Berlin. Goes towards Sacramento. That's a confident block.
It looked like that bounce was just not caught right. It was skippy, but it just wasn't moving too fast.
You'll never guess what the equipment check is for, Niall. It's for a shoelace.
I did mention to one of the best referees I've ever been reffed by, Dina. She's a legend in the goalball in the world, and also in the UK. I did tell her about all the shoelaces and she was appalled by it.
Big block there between Thomas Delphi and Sacramento making that throw, and that could be that. That's 10 up for Sporting.
And there's that man Sacramento again. It looks like Berlin's making a substitution. We've spoken about how heavy minutes that every player's played, and they're letting their players sit down now for the last 40 seconds of the game.
And it's going to be Robin Peter, and he's hardly walking off but in a quick jog. It's very much a tired walk towards the team bench area, and Leah Stanker is going to come on for Berlin.
Yeah, hands on the hip there from the Berlin player. He looks like he has given it his all.
And a great moment this for Leah Stanker to play in a European club competition. 40 seconds remaining in this placement match, and she has the ball in her hands.
Looks like she's looking to add herself to the score sheet.
And she goes down this near side of the court. Number 9 for Berlin. That one just going wide of the mark. Luis Miguel. Stanker right in behind that one. Confident block. Throws down the centre of the court.
All the Sporting players behind that one.
Delphine has a go right down the middle of the court. So into the final 10 seconds.
So, Sporting looking like they'll just hold the ball and see this game through now.
Well, Sacramento thinks other things and decides to plant it in the back of the net.
That goal counts. And now the referee's called game.
He has. Well, I thought that Sacramento may have wanted to just hold the ball. I agreed with you there. But Sacramento had other ideas and decided to plant it into the bottom corner of the net to go alongside his Player of the Match award. And I think that's an apt way to finish the game.
It is. Great way to finish the game from Sacramento. 4.5 seconds left on the clock. You thought, I'll tell you what, I can fit another goal in here. Let's chip away at the top goal scorer, see if I can catch someone up.
Well, a really good game that ebbed and flowed. It started off like a bullet train in that first 2 minutes. We had 5 goals, 2 penalties, and then suddenly it just sent it into a little bit of a stalemate. 2 defences put their walls up, and then the goals re-emerged in that second half. But it is Sporting who will compete in the 5th to 6th placement match. Berlin in the 7th